I can't say that I find any type of stem cell treatment unacceptable as long as it meets certain criteria. So I think that all forms of stem cell treatment should have some form of scientific, regulatory and ethical oversight by appropriate people. And if that is the case, I think there are multiple lines to develop treatment. So it is the way we do it ourselves is going from a phase 1 to a phase 2 to a randomized study. I think it's a very good example to demonstrate efficacy and also safety for the patients. But we should bear in mind that even this whole range of treatments may come from anecdotal observations. Maybe I can give you the example of what we do in the treatment of graft versus host disease with stromal cells. There was a single anecdotal observation in just one patient, a desperate case, and that patient was treated. The scientific evidence at that point was relatively thin, but the patient fully responded, and this was the basis to do the trial. So it shows there are other ways than just doing the trial. But I think that in the end, one should oversee the outcome, analyze the outcome, and try to come to a kind of an evidence. And the main reason is that I think we should not harm the patient with any form of treatment that we do. And we need to install mechanisms to ensure that. Yeah, so sometimes the scientists may have very original observations and want to initiate a trial, like the example that I gave you in the case of graft versus host disease. I'm really happy that that could take place, but if it would happen today, I'm not sure if it would pass the regulatory committees or the ethical, institutional ethical committees. My main point is that as soon as there is some evidence and it is a category of patients where the risk of the treatment is appropriately counterbalanced by the risk of the disease that the patient has, under controlled circumstances, it should be possible to initiate small experimental treatment, but always with the ultimate aim to demonstrate safety and efficacy afterwards. Yeah, to some extent I would agree with the patient that it takes too long. I could explain to them that the main purpose is to make sure that we do not harm them. And as long as we cannot make sure that we do not harm them, that we need to install certain measures to guarantee that. That's why we need oversight. That's why we need regulators. We need to protect our patient. That's one side, and it takes time. And the development of a new treatment takes time. It takes somewhere between 5 and 10 years, and it's hard to change that for us. The other side is that there are lots of regulatory hurdles that are unnecessary and that will be prohibitive for some of the bona fide stem cell treatments. So I think we need a more open discussion with the regulators to change that system and to allow a much earlier access, and also in that way respond to the need of the patients.